we're good to go.
Look at Charlie. He's nervous over there.
I'm a little nervous today.
We got our first podcast with Charizard and Mr. Blake.
Oh, yeah.
I took Riley's seat today. We miss him. Riley's off to Mexico.
Have you
ever been to Mexico?
I've never been to Mexico. I've actually never been out of the country.
Whoa.
I'm going to Belize, though.
This summer?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't leave the country until I was 24. I went to Europe.
Really?
Actually, 25. Yeah, I didn't leave the country until I was married.
Wow.
Yeah. Sports, man. That's what we have in common. Never have summers off, never have winters off.
Exactly.
Yep. Keep our parents busy.
Yep.
So we got some good topics today. Charlie and I both love, I wouldn't say that I love basketball, but I like basketball. I played basketball my senior year. I never told you the story. So I was a big athlete growing up. Played baseball and hockey were my two primary sports. Nice. One winter sport, one summer sport. In my junior year, I started going to play Y-ball with my dad.
Yeah.
I played basketball a little bit growing up, but was never uber good at it because I played hockey. It's kind of same season, things like that. Played Y-ball, things like that. But my junior year, I was maybe I got this itch, maybe I should try out for the basketball team next year, my senior year, just because you'll get a little bit of playing time because you're a senior and I was in pretty good shape. And the best player on our team, Alex Duncan, shout out to AD and Subway. We used to go to Subway together every day for lunch because it was right next to Boise High. Yeah. But I said, you know what, dude, I want to try and make the basketball team next year. So can you come to morning basketball with me? And so all summer and all fall going into basketball, I went to all the open gyms. He'd come and shoot with me all the time. He would just stroke from three. That was his thing. He was just a shooter.
Yeah.
And so I practiced with him every day for 4 to 6 months before tryouts.
Wow.
Made the team.
Nice.
Was
there you go, Blake.
7th or 8th guy on the team. I could hold my own. I was a good defender. Okay. I wasn't the best scorer,
Yeah, same.
Just lockdown D. I was put me on the best guy.
Yes. Yeah.
And so yeah, that's my little basketball story. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So I played my senior year, halfway through the season, I was playing Y-ball in the morning with my dad. Rolled my ankle.
Really?
Done for the rest of the year.
Isn't that the worst? I did that with my calf. I strained my calf and I was just I couldn't jump for 3 months.
Really?
Yeah, it was horrible. I kind of have a similar story. I grew up playing basketball. We actually won the state championship in 7th grade. So that was a big thing.
How do you remember? Wait, when you're my age, you won't remember that.
Yeah.
You'll have too many life moments that you're
it was just our squad in Oregon, we were all so close and
That's right, you didn't grow up
it was it was just such a cool experience. And I think because one of my best friend's dad coached our team, it was super cool because we won the state championship. He was the coach. And I think it's just one of those things I'll always remember.
So was it travel basketball?
During that time, it was through the school. So it was classic ball,
Okay.
And then when I got to the high school level, freshman year, I played at Sherwood High on the freshman team. And then that
Would you guys travel or was it just local?
It was just local for school ball there.
Yeah.
And then that summer I played on the JV team.
Aha.
And then that was club ball.
Okay.
And then after that summer I moved here, so sophomore year. And then I went from JV to sophomore because I moved here and no one knew me. And it was super weird. And then junior, JV.
You got to come in here and you should have been I played varsity right out the gate because I was just a baller.
Yeah. And then junior summer, I did club through the high school. And it was Mustang Basketball Club.
Right.
And I was on the second varsity team for that. And then we had some transfers coming in and I'll be honest, I wasn't loving Eagle basketball.
Yeah.
And so I decided to do club ball my senior year. So I never actually played varsity at Eagle High. I don't know if you knew that.
I didn't know that.
Honestly, it was a really good decision for me because on the club team, I had so much fun because starting point guard, my confidence levels just went up. I had game with 20 points and that was the most I've ever scored.
Just got a lot more playing time.
I did,
and, enjoyed it more.
And my coach played overseas in I wasn't Australia
or something.
Greece.
Yeah.
Super tall guy, super awesome, and I just had a really good time. So I'm actually glad I did that because I don't think I would have gotten any playing time.
I didn't know that you didn't play your senior year. Well, Eagle's one of the top basketball schools. Like it just is.
They're
so,
really good.
you know, like even the 5, 6, 7 guys, like just don't see the court that much.
Yeah. And I was like
Especially when
you,
you're
like
playing.
I was super good at defense.
Yeah.
Like that was my thing.
Yeah.
And you know,
That never gets acknowledged.
it doesn't.
Never does.
But I'm like-
Defensive player of the year. Like I don't even know if I could list like the last few.
I know, but
You know?
that's the thing though that sucks is like I had such a good relationship with my varsity coach when I was in Oregon.
Yeah.
Like he was such a good coach, like bringing every level. Like we had freshmen, JV, varsity, and we would all go on like a team bus and go to different things.
Oh, that's
that never
cool.
happens.
Yeah.
And like at Eagle High,
A little bit different.
yeah.
Big city, 5A. Was it 4A, 5A in Oregon?
In Oregon, it was 5A.
5A, so it's
Yeah.
still 5A. Huh.
Yeah.
What are you thinking about the NBA right now?
I am a big Portland Trailblazer fan.
You are?
Because
'cause you're
we,
from-
we grew up watching
That's
the
right.
Blazer games, and so Damian Lillard just had 71 points in one game.
Did you see that he got drug tested right after the game or something too?
did?
Yeah, they're like, drug test. Yep.
I mean,
Can't be that good.
I was watching that, and then I was like, he just keeps scoring. It just like looks way too easy for him.
It's so sad that he hasn't won. The problem is he doesn't have enough supporting staff.
Agreed.
You know,
Well, it's crazy because there's so many players that just go in and out through the, like I feel like they're just in a rebuilding phase right now.
yeah,
Their team overall.
Yep.
So
And that's so hard too, because like you speak to like I've seen it in the few NBA games I've gone to, like just watching the teams when they warm up, you can kind of tell who's going to win the game most likely because of like team camaraderie, team energy. Are they buddies? Do they hate each other in the layup
Yep.
line? Like the huge difference I saw, like I went to a Warriors game when they're still dominating. Like
Yeah.
they're still one of the top teams in the NBA. But a couple years ago when they were just on that hot streak and just watching them like in layup lines, like in warm-ups for their game with the Lakers on one side and the Warriors on the other,
yeah.
it is just night and day difference. They were having fun, goofing around, like played loose, where the Lakers were like all stiff and Kobe, it was before Kobe retired, which is
Really?
kind of crazy. And so I got to watch him play his last time at Golden State before he retired that year.
So you watched Steph and Kobe
Play. And I've got sick
that's gotta be a
pictures.
good
So we're going to
game.
drop some good like images
Let's put
in
a
the
couple
pod.
like, right here.
Yep. It was just really cool to see. It gives me chills talking about it now that Kobe's not here and just like how big of an impact he's had, not only like in the NBA, but just like business mentality, like
moment mentality.
dominate everything, you know,
100%.
100% effort all the time.
Yeah.
So, how long is LeBron hanging around?
Cool. I think till
He's getting
Bronny
old.
gets to the NBA.
What's your take on this? Because he's only like a 4-star. Do you think he's getting like he's a 4-star recruit right now? Like, is that because of his name? Is he actually a good basketball player? I haven't watched much of him, but like he looks like he's freaking good.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, I thought it was cool to see him progress from like his junior to senior year. You can totally tell like the leadership role that he's taken on. And especially since like as an older brother myself, his younger brother came into the varsity program. And I
Right.
think he kind of wanted
Do
to
they
be.
play together?
They play together.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're on the same team.
I
That's
don't
sick.
think
That's so cool.
I don't think Bryce is a starter, but I've seen him get some like good playing time and a couple dunks, and I'm like, that's
Yeah, it's
sick.
like, geez,
I'm like,
that's so
I think he's like taller than Bronny now, which is really cool. I'm like, I'm never gonna let that happen with my younger brother, but yeah, that deal is kind of cool to see.
I know. I think that LeBron sticks around. Well, he just hurt his foot like 2 days ago.
Yeah, I know.
You know, hopefully it's not super long.
Yeah.
He's like, I heard a pop. I'm like, oh great, here we go.
You're like, oh,
I don't know. LeBron's interesting. I've been a fan for many years on the come up. I think he's a little too public now with, you know, kind of stay in your lane a little bit. I know you got a voice.
Mm-hmm.
Just my 2 cents is you're a basketball player, be a basketball player, not a politician.
Mm-hmm.
So stay in your lane, do good with what you've created. But man, that guy, I don't know. I hate the GOAT talk because everyone has a different opinion on how and why, and the league's different now than it was when Jordan was there. So I don't really have an opinion on the greatest of all time because I don't have context of MJ when he was dominating too. You know, when we're such kids. So like we kind of look at LeBron as like, oh, he was the greatest, but we have highlights of MJ, and I don't know. It's just interesting. I just think that he's been phenomenal for the game of basketball to really bring more exposure to it because LeBron is like, he's a good dude, you know, maybe he's cocky and arrogant and kind of a dick to people, but like deep down, I think he's a good guy, you know, like he's got no public accusations against him from what we know. But yeah, I'm really excited to see how the finals come in. I think with the moves that the Lakers have made, they've got a good shot. And we'll see where it goes. What do you think?
Yeah, it'd be cool to see Braun get one. But
I want him to get one more before he hangs it up. But I don't know if he's going to Orlando with Bronny if he gets drafted there.
yeah, did you see that mock draft?
Yeah.
I was like, that's sick.
Yeah, he's not going in there.
Yeah, there's no way.
No chance.
That'd be cool though if the Lakers like traded someone, like traded Bronny from the Magic just to get him.
Just to get him to play together.
I wonder, has that ever happened? Like a son and a father on the same team playing?
I don't know if it has. We'll have to look that up. It's kind of interesting.
That would be so cool.
I know. Son and father on the court at the same time.
Yeah,
we'll see. Yeah. But yeah, I'm pumped for the NBA Finals. My dad is a huge basketball guy. So he's like, did you see that? I'm like, yeah, I saw it on TikTok or Instagram. Like I saw the highlights. I didn't watch the full game. I have a hard time watching a full basketball game because it comes down to like those last few minutes anyway. I feel like they just go through the motions for 3 quarters and then it's like, okay, 10-point swing either way. Like it's still, or like 15 to 20 point swing in the 4th quarter. It happens on occasion, but if it's like 25 points, you can just see the other team just like, all right, like let's move on to the next night. Let's not get injured. You know?
I know that's like one of my old coaches used to tell me like, don't watch like a ton of NBA games. Look at more like the college level because they're more of like, it's like more of a team strategy rather than like some of the NBA players that do like a lot of like one-on-one work.
Right.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Oh, for sure.
You know?
It's like, hey, I'm taking this guy one-on-one.
Yeah, exactly.
Call him play one. I don't even know basketball plays.
Yeah.
I'm out here thinking like I do. I don't even remember shit from high school. I remember like when they'd run plays and shit. Cause I was so used to hockey where like it was systems. Like you were in like a system kind of like soccer where you don't have set plays.
Yeah.
And then in basketball, it's like run a number 24X. And I'm like, shit, what do I do? Like, that's why I sucked at basketball. It's because like I didn't remember the like football. I sucked at football because I couldn't remember the plays, but I was like pretty athletic. It's just my brain needs to go in like hockey mentality of like just touch and go and move, you know?
Yeah. That's awesome. So how was playing hockey growing up?
It was awesome.
Really?
Hockey was like a big passion of mine. It's just Boise's so small that I could you never had the coaching nor like the teams to really take it to the next level. Yeah, so things are good, man. We're going to do another pivot in the podcast. Did you watch the Jake Paul fight this weekend?
I actually did.
Did you pay for it?
I didn't pay for it. I used
streamed it.
I streamed it.
That's so funny.
I streamed it.
One of the most frustrating thing, like bought the fight at like noon. You know how it was like 3 p.m. instead of like 7?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, sweet. Like it'll be this evening, and then clicked it on and was watching it. My wife comes out of the closet and goes, we've got to leave for a birthday party in like 30 minutes. And I'm like, oh, dude. I was like,
oh, no.
The timing of this couldn't have been worse. So literally, I was like trying to watch it as I was driving to the birthday party in Caldwell and was like, this sucks. Like,
and of course,
missed the whole fight.
All 8 rounds.
It was like a great fight. I wish I could have watched it.
Yeah.
Here's my 2 takes. One, all of his other fights have been fabricated, 100%. Woodley would have beat the shit out of Tyson Fury. And Tyson just kind of teed up Jake this weekend.
Yeah.
So that just confirms to me that a lot of this was pre-planned. And this was the first fight where, you know, and this is what I think happened. I feel like they agreed to a set contract, just like all the other fights, that Jake's going to win because of X, Y, and Z. Because when he knocked out Woodley, he did this thing where he twisted his glove, and it was like a sign. And I watched it over and over again because I was like, there's no way a UFC fighter that is a champion like that doesn't learn to adapt to boxing to an extent. You know what I mean? Like, it knows a right hand's coming when a right hand's coming, because all you have to worry about is right and left hands, not kicks or anything like that. Yeah. So I feel like that was very fake. And the takeaways within that is, and I know I'm bagging on Jake Paul, he'd probably beat my ass, but I think it was so fabricated. And then in the first round of the Fury fight, he kept twisting his glove, just like he's like, let me hit you, let me hit you, let me hit you. And then he realized, shit, he's not gonna follow the script. and he ends up losing. So, because it was competitive, you know, and Tyson Fury, he's a good boxer. So is Jake Paul, but they're not pros by any means.
Yeah.
I feel like you run into like a real boxer, Jake would get his ass kicked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he also didn't look like he was in great shape either. Like he came like he cruised into the fight a little bit, in my opinion.
And he was late also. Like,
was he?
Yeah, he was in the locker room. Like they were supposed to start and he was just in there like getting ready.
Really?
I don't know if it was like a, some sort of like
timing thing or something.
Yeah. Or he was trying to like just fool with Tyson Fury's mind a little bit or something.
Yeah, like your opponent's not here.
Yeah.
No show him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like
What's your take?
Well, I mean, I like middle school, early high school would watch a lot of like Logan Paul and Jake Paul, just because I thought they were cool, and I know a lot of people didn't like them, you know, and
right.
I think that this fight was good for Jake because I feel like he needed to be humbled a little bit.
For sure.
And I think he'll learn a lot from the loss, and I do feel like it's a bit scripted. I'll say that.
Right.
Like, something just seemed off a little bit, and that's interesting that you say that with twisting the glove thing. I want to go look at that.
Yeah, you'll go watch when he knocked out Woodley.
Yeah.
It's so prevalent, him going like this, and they'll make eye contact. And then the way he throws this looping overhand right that connects to Woodley, I'm like, dude, if you're a UFC fighter, you're seeing that from a mile away.
Yeah, 100%.
You know,
and it's like
you're
a big
ducking.
glove.
Yeah, it's like he got him. I mean, some of the early fights, I feel like against a basketball player, that wasn't scripted. You know? And then even like the way that this fight went, where Jake was consistently trying to wrap up, and Fury's like, "Dude, get off of me!"
I know.
And then the ref was like, "Are you gonna fight, or are you just gonna hug him the whole time?" Because Jake was getting beat.
Yeah,
you know, I'm like, dude, like you look like. What is that basketball player trying to hug Jake Paul when he was fighting him for the first time? Like that was
Nate Robinson.
Yeah, when Nate Robinson got clocked, which he's not a boxer at all.
No, he's a basketball player.
Jake needs to go fight guys like Le'Veon Bell, you know, old NFL guy, like things like that I think he has success in. Nate Diaz would kick his ass, which would be amazing. I guarantee you just after seeing that, the Woodley fight was so scripted, you know?
Yeah.
So that's 100%. my 2 cents on it.
Yeah.
But Jake would still kick my ass, so power to it.
Yeah.
Power
he would
to
kick
it.
my butt too.
I feel like Logan would beat Jake.
Really?
Yeah.
What do you think of how Jake Paul wants to fight KSI when?
So this is where I think if the brothers would never fight, just because it doesn't make sense. Why beat each other up?
Yeah.
But KSI beat Logan Paul, and I think Logan would beat Jake because Logan's bigger than Jake for sure. You know, he's a good 3 or 4 inches taller than him. He's got about 15 pounds of muscle on him too.
Yeah.
And I think that I don't know if KSI would probably beat Jake. That's why I think he's not taking that fight, and he'll do another one with. I just think Jake needs to really evaluate it. I think he needs to come back and fight Tyson Fury one more time. If he loses, he's done with boxing.
Yeah.
He needs to pivot.
Yeah.
You know, save his brain. Like he's not going to be a pro boxer. Like he doesn't have the fundamentals, nor the time, nor the record. Most guys his age have like 40 boxing wins under their belt.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But speaking of boxing, I'm really excited. You know Ryan Garcia?
Yeah.
Gervonta Davis, Tank.
Oh.
They're finally matching those guys up.
Oh, actually?
April. Yep. We're going to watch it. We're going to have a party at my house.
Oh, yes.
We have a boxing party. Those of you that want to DM us might be invited.
Yeah.
You know, we'll do something fun.
Yeah.
But that's my 2 cents on it. I'm just curious. I don't know. I'm a big like combat sports guy, even though like I'm saying this for the first time ever on the pod. I've like never really been in a fight because I'm definitely a peacemaker.
Yeah.
I'm just like, guys, like what's going to come of us fighting? Maybe some bloody noses, broken hand. Like let's just go our different ways. We can have differences.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a peacemaker.
I've never been in a fight either.
Like I got in some scuffles in hockey, but nothing where it was like full on, let me kick your ass. Cause I just, at a young age, I had a temper and I really learned how to like, it's really nothing good's going to come from this, you know?
Yeah.
Like I'm never going to be a fighter or things like that. So I was always like the kid that was like kind of wussy because I just didn't want to fight because I was like, what good is it going to give us, you know?
Yeah.
But I could probably hold my own. So we'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe someday I'll get in like a fist fight or something, get arrested, you know, get booked.
You like go to jail for the first time.
Jeez, man. I need to be careful saying that kind of stuff.
Yeah. I've never been in a fight, but if someone like came at me, I'd defend myself, you know?
Right. Yeah.
Or like if someone was
I always worry, dude. Like, I feel like I could in a fight, like hurt somebody so bad that like something bad could happen.
Yeah.
Like my stepdad, like years ago, he like got drunk, punched a dude downtown. The dude fell, split his head open, almost died, bleeding.
gosh.
Like, and he stayed there with the cops. He got booked and got arrested. And like, luckily nothing worse happened to the guy.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, like you'd be like, you just never know what could happen in a fight too. Like you hurt someone so bad that like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I just, either way, you know, I do that to someone else or someone else does that to me.
Yeah.
You know, some UFC guy puts me in a pretzel, breaks my arm or something.
Yeah. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions watching like TV shows and movies and things like that.
About how to fight.
Yeah.
Things
And like
that.
getting in fights and then it's just like, yeah, they're fine. And the next scene they'll be like up and ready to go.
Yeah,
but in,
exactly.
real life,
Like,
they're
no, you're down for like 2 weeks. I just had a surgery and I'm like a wimp for two full weeks. I'm like, don't touch me. Stay away. Jeez Louise. Well, this was kind of a fun pod.
This was a fun pod.
Maybe you should take Riley's seat.
We were actually talking about that last week.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah,
Because we have the sports in common. And I feel like when I want to talk sports, like I bring things up and Riley's like, what?
Yeah.
Like, dude.
We love you, Riley, though. We know you're out in Cabo having fun. Hopefully not having too many drinks, but...
Oh, yeah. Legal limits, 19.
Yeah.
There. He's able to toss a few back.
Oh, when I go to Belize, the legal drinking age is 18.
That's nice.
So...
Be careful, man.
Yeah, no,
Alcohol is a hell of a drug.
I
just completed not drinking for a whole 12 months. February 22nd. Yeah, it was pretty
awesome.
Cool. There's no in particular reason. I just wanted to do something difficult.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
I've actually never
had a sip of alcohol in your life. So you're like 19 and a half years sober.
Exactly.
So.
Yeah.
Podcast, Quick Bites Media, episode 9.
See you guys.
See you guys soon.